So your grid for the Catalan GP sees home hero Aleix Espargaro start on pole alongside world champion Pecco Bagnaia. Raul Fernandez is on the front row for the very first time. Then on row 2 it's Binder, Acosta and Dejan Antonio. Championship leader Jorge Martin starts at the head of row 3 with Alex Rins and Jack Miller. Franco Morbidelli and Ea Bastianini and Maverick Vinales are all on row 4. Can Marc Marquez launch another comeback? He starts 14th on the grid in between Alex Marquez and Miguel Oliveira. Well, then it is Marco Bezzecchi, Fabio Quartararo and Johan Zarco the next row back. At the back of the grid it's Augusto Fernandez, Taka Nakagami, Joan Mir, Luca Marini and Stefan Bradl.
It is lights out and we are racing in MotoGP here in Barcelona. Let's hope we get a clean run down into the first corner. Aleix Espargaro's got away well on the factory of Aprilia, but it's Pedro Acosta, the rookie, that could lead the field into turn 1. Bagnaia though has come through to take the lead. Are they all going to make it safely through for the first time in 2 years? They certainly are, just about. Bagnaia for the first time in 2 years gets himself through the first 2 corners. Bagnaia leads in from Acosta.
I tell you what, they made it through the first corner, but Alex Rins missed Jorge Martin by inches into that first corner. Martin avoided contact, Rins went up along that penalty lane and Jorge Martin's emerged in 4th place.
Marc Marquez started 14th through the first sector, already up 3 places into 11th place. Raul Fernandez had a nightmare first sector, down from his first front row start, qualified 3rd. He was down in 8th at the end of the first split.
Yeah, he was just passing an Ea Bastianini there into turn number 5, so he's already gained one of those places. Back again, Marc Marquez is battling with Morbidelli and Dejan Antonio back in the bottom end of the top 10, but Pedro Acosta very keen to get on with this up behind Bagnaia, knowing that he's on that soft route tire. He needs to make progress as quickly as he can.
The script for Aleix Espargaro playing out just as it did yesterday, as Acosta not close enough to attack. Here comes Martin picking up Binder into turn 10. Binder's going to get run wide to the marbles there, and now Aleix Espargaro tried to find a way through. Aleix Espargaro ended lap 1 in the sprint yesterday from pole to 5th. That's exactly where he currently sits at the end of the first lap here in the Grand Prix.
Marc Marquez, he's gone past Ea Bastianini now. Morbidelli had already passed Bastianini on this lap, so the beast's going backwards. Marc Marquez up into 9th.
Here comes Acosta, he's going from the inside of Bagnaia into turn 10. Is he going to run it a little bit wide? Bagnaia cuts the tail, almost rub shoulders there, don't they? Going through.
Someone's down at the back.
Fighting fire with fire here. Matching the aggression of the world champion is Pedro Acosta. Jack Miller, 2024 continues. He made a mistake on the end of the first lap going into the first corner. Acosta said yesterday in the sprint his biggest headache, causing all kinds of problems. He said it was his toughest race the season so far was his front tyre temperature. It went through the roof. It was very, very hard to turn that gas machine, and that surely is something that's weighing in his mind right now, because he's been stuck behind Bagnaia since turn 1. We're halfway around lap 4 of 24. Here comes Martin though on the inside of Acosta into turn 10. Acosta with a failed overtake on Bagnaia on the previous lap. This time it's him who gets picked off. Look at the rear, he lost the rear, didn't he, on that aggressive change of direction going through 11 and 12. So Acosta now back in 3rd.
Look how close Pedro Acosta is, almost making contact with Jorge Martin's medium rear tyre.
Now then, Acosta lunged on the inside of Bagnaia a couple laps ago into this very turn 10, and this time around Martin's going for it. He's got the inside line, and this time around it's a successful raid. Acosta couldn't quite make that move stick on Bagnaia into 10. Martin though hits the front for the first time in this Catalan Grand Prix. A sensational first 5 laps or so from the World Championship leader, 7th to the lead.
Yeah, Marc Marquez still stuck behind Frankie Morbidelli. Must be quite frustrating for the 93. As you can see, left-hand side of the screens, he's now over 3 seconds off the race lead, and any advantage he might be getting from that soft rear tyre is being destroyed by Morbidelli. Acosta on the inside now of Pecco Bagnaia. He was trying to pass him earlier for the lead. He passes him now for 2nd place.
Yeah, now Martin will sense the chance to try and break away. Acosta takes no prisoner, does he, whatsoever. Back up into 2nd place. Fernandez still in 6th place. To be fair to him as well, he's still going with Binder and Espargaro directly ahead of him. Fernandez 1.2 seconds he was clear of Morbidelli at the start of this lap. 10, although that gap now between Fernandez and Morbidelli has been cut to 9/10.
And Morbidelli is still keeping Marc Marquez well and truly under control in the battle for 7th and 8th place. How much longer though can Brad Binder resist from Malaysia Spargo? Pulls out of the slipstream of that very fast KTM, and he's ahead of Brad Binder before they even get to the braking zone for turn 1. We saw in the previous lap how late Brad Binder was prepared to brake, but he can't brake late enough to keep the captain behind him. Malaysia Spargo up to 4th, and Ralph Fernandez quickly through into 5th.
Binder struggling big time. He was in the 41s on that previous lap, so already the KTM rider looks like he's suffering the first big drop in grip here. 41 flat from Binder on that previous lap.
Pecco Bagnaia far from out of this as we watch the all-Spanish battle for the lead. Oh, Acosta's down!
Pedro Acosta has crashed out of this Catalan Grand Prix. He was piling the pressure, trying to push Jorge Martin into a mistake, but it's a mistake of his own doing into turn 10 that sees Acosta crash out of 2nd place, trail braking towards the apex, and down he goes. So the wait to become the historic youngest MotoGP raceman will be extended to next weekend in Mugello. He's quickly mounted that gas machine, but the sudden drop in pace for Brad Binder, who's going to be in the 42s very soon. A whole bunch of riders are back in the 41s. I think we've already reached that tipping point, Lewis, where they're having to really manage the fading grip here. Clear evidence there as Acosta tucked the front going into turn 10. We could see soon lap times deviating by 3 or 4 seconds. Binder's last lap, he's still got 13 laps to go. 141.9 from Binder, who's now dropping back into clutches.